Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot by Tilly Walden. Website on the bottom is liminal11, liminal11.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested, of course. Supportive Oracle cards. You are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A is an apple, U is an umbrella. Okay, what do we have for Taurus? This is going to be a different one. This is... Alright, so we got a bunch of cards just popping out all over the place, which is neither here nor there. There's just... the order of things is off. It bothers me. It bothers me. But maybe that's what the situation is. Like, things are not in order. Things are out of order here. This is not how this is supposed to work. It's ironic because usually I have some backup with this situation, but it's not working out. I feel like maybe I lost an ally. I lost an ally a little while back. I used to have somebody there. I know it's the devil, but it's an earth card. Ironically, Taurus can work with this card. It talks about Capricorn. Doesn't have to mean you were working with a Capricorn or dealing with a Capricorn. But it's kind of like there's rules, there's restrictions, there's boundaries, there's very harsh repercussions for those boundaries sometimes if people cross them. This was an ally in the sense of, like, they kept things where they were supposed to be. They didn't allow things to change, and that made it easier for you to work with the situation. If you needed something to change, you would work with this energy. You go through a lot of processing of how and why and all this other stuff, and they'd work with you, and there would be a slow, gradual change if you both agreed. And this was an ally for you. That ally is gone, is what I'm getting. There's a lot of stress here around this person. Other people seem to have a big problem with this person. When this person left, other people seem to think it was easier for them. And you're like, well, not for me, because I knew what to expect from them and I was able to work with it. But for other people, they were happy that this energy went. It left an opening here. It left an opening. Whoever the person was that left, somebody else had to replace them. Everything's out of order, though. It's really kind of like... I wasn't going to leave. I feel like you're kind of like, I wasn't going to go. I'm sticking with what I have. I could have went, but I decided not to. It's the only card that came in upside down. Eight of Cups. I think this came up in a different one of these. I don't know why I didn't flip it right side up, but I didn't apparently. I didn't leave. I could have left, and I decided not to. I decided I wasn't going to. You have another ally card here. But this is not... Okay, this is... Somebody's waiting for instruction. They're not going to push things forward on their accord. This should be an ally for you. I almost feel like this person is distracted. I keep getting they should be an ally for you. Somebody else is here that should be an ally for you, but they seem to be distracted. They're happy with the way things are going for them. They don't seem to be too caught up in it or too worried about it. Which seems a little strange, because it seems like this should be an ally for you. This might be more unhappy for you because it's kind of like Taurus tends to want control. I would say Taurus usually wants control. And they want things to stay where they're supposed to be. And if something needs to be changed, they want to have final approval on that, if at all possible. Not always possible, but if at all possible, that's what they prefer. Things changing fast. This is so... It's not working right, and the more I get into it, it feels like a very aggravating energy. Somebody else coming in, saying they're your allies, saying they feel the same way you do. Slow, gradual change. Things need to be dependable. Things need to go in a certain order. Things need to make sense, and they need to make sense every time. They seem like this, right? This is how they come across. Then you got really fast, major changes happening. Really fast, big changes. Boom. Everything changes in 5 seconds. It's kind of a mishmash. The reason this kind of makes sense, it's like there's there's a new energy to you. Ooh, it gets really frustrating because it sounds like it sounds like they make sense. It sounds like they feel the same way you do, and it's like you said, what just happened? Like everything just changed, and like what's going on? You say the one thing and then you do completely opposite. Like what is happening? The reason, oh, there's a lot of energy here too. This person, I don't think you know them very well, for one. But whatever the situation is you're used to, they've done it a completely different way. They're immediately setting it up to the way they're used to it going. Totally different. It's like, it reminds me of somebody reorganizing a kitchen. Especially if it's your kitchen or you feel like it's your kitchen. When you're used to getting certain utensils and pots and pans, and this is where that supply is, and this is where this other supply is, and somebody moves all that around on you. If I'm going to use a baking analogy, obviously I kind of am here with a kitchen analogy. Like, you know, even if the refrigerator is like, things are totally in different places now. Like the meat's still in the meat drawer, but it's not, like things in the back are now in the front, and then there's another place where they're keeping other types of meats. It's not here in this drawer anymore. They're putting it over here on the side, and I'm like, that's not where that goes, and that's not where I'm looking for it. I look for it, I don't find it, I think it's not there, so I order more. Turns out it was already there, and now I've ordered too much. The utensils I used to use are like, I'm looking, they're not in the right drawer, so I'm looking in other drawers. Apparently they put them up on a rack and I didn't even notice it was right there, and I'm like, well, why would it be up there in the rack? That's not where it's supposed to be. Makes it very upsetting. I'm already getting like, I'm like, why would you do that to me? Somebody has reorganized it based on what they're used to, not what you're used to. Ooh, there's a lot of energy here. I'm like, I'm feeling it. Like, so if this is happening for you, I'm like, I'm feeling it. Like that would burn my biscuits, as I like to say. That would totally burn my biscuits. Oh, I would probably yell at somebody. I would freak. I would probably freak. That really would tick me off. Like, especially if they did the whole kitchen and nothing is where I'm used to it. I guess. It's just, okay. It's like, no. I don't remember really getting aggravated with it too. It's funny. I'm like, no. Okay, whatever. This popping in is telling me this is going to work more to your advantage than you realize. The quick change, oh, we're not going to like it. Even though oh, my goodness. It feels like, all right, first thing, it's almost like the first thing I need is like, I'm like, okay, you all changed this on me, clearly. And it's like, it's like everything has been redone. It's like I went away for a week or whatever, I came back, everything is redone. So it's like, and I'm realizing I can't put it back where I want it to be. It doesn't seem like it's an option, because it just doesn't seem like an option. So I'm like, is there at least like a, you know, secret decoder ring or something? Sarcasm. Is there somewhere I can just like look up what I'm looking for and find out where it actually is now versus where it was supposed to be? I'm annoyed. I'm so annoyed. It is going to work out. It is going to work out. It's going to take you probably a good 2 months to really make peace with that, maybe 3. But it is. What's this? What is this? Oh, be careful not to hold grudges. This might tick you off to the point, because I keep feeling that energy, and I'm like, how come we can't just let that go? You could end up holding a grudge here because this really makes you angry. I feel like this is pushing the button. Try to not do that. Try to not do that if you can. Because I feel like it's hard for me to trust after this, because that really made me upset. Especially when... Okay. The same energy. So the first time we had it is at the Queen of Pentacles. This is the same energy, because it's going from the Queen to the King. It's just telling me it's somebody in control. It doesn't matter what gender they are. This person comes in again. And they like how it's been so far, but they're like, not quite done. We need to do some other things. Not only do we now that we've changed the kitchen all around, now we're going to change, you know, the supplies we use. and we're going to use totally different recipes now. And you're like, what do you mean totally different recipes? What was wrong with those recipes? I know how to make those. What? Now they're changing the supplies, like the food supplies, we're going to say. Maybe you used to use flour. Now you use, what do you call that stuff? Well, the almond flour. Like, they work differently, just in case you didn't realize. Like, wheat flour and almond flour work completely different. You're not going to get the same results if you just switch them out. It's just not going to work. And learned that the hard way. So, for example, we've switched out supplies. We've switched out what type of things we're going to be using. So it's like it happens again. It happens again. It is for the better. But this is, I feel like, pace yourself. If you see it coming, I feel like if this reading is hitting, they're saying pace yourself, see it coming, so you can see it coming. If you see it coming, it's not like you're going to like it because you see it coming. I'm not saying that. But maybe you can pace yourself and like pull it together so that it doesn't knock you down, because there's a lot of changes coming in. If you ask this person, will they tell you? They make one change. If you ask them about future changes happening, will they tell you? No. Okay. No. No, they won't. I don't know why. I don't know what you're working with, but I get the Moon card coming forward and the Ace of Wands reversed. They won't tell you. It might be the fact that they need approval before they make these changes. It might be the fact that they don't want people arguing with them. They're just making their changes, and that's what it's going to be. They're not going to tell you. What can Taurus do to keep the, like, something. This is something. Take more of a follower role for the next couple months. Start pulling your energy back. Taurus likes to be prepared. Taurus likes to be prepared. I know this is a lot to ask, but pulling your energy back and not preparing things ahead of time, if you can get yourself to do that, will bring the energy down a lot more for you. Because I feel like there's a lot of preparation and planning and being ready for things. It's kind of like, that's kind of a Taurus thing, to be ready. I know what's going to happen. I have these things prepared so that way when it comes around, I can just move it into place and keep going. Taurus, that's part of the process, to be prepared. So pulling your energy back, being more of a follower energy temporarily, being more passive with the situation, kind of like I'm not going to do things until I'm asked. That's not really a Taurus thing either, but, you know, if you're able to, for a short time, pull that energy back, I do feel like this will go easier for you. Realize there's a lot of changes going on. When that first one happens, how long is this going to go for? Like, how long is this going to go for? There'll always be an element of it. There'll always be an element of it. Pull back your energy some. Evaluate it for what it is. It's more about keeping your stress level down at this point. You don't need this much stress in your life. And I feel like this might be one of those things, the way I'm seeing it here. When you realize that this is how the situation is going to work from now on, things just keep changing. The energy coming at you does seem like it's compatible, but it's a constant change. It's almost like they're a pattern, or what's most reliable with them is that things will constantly change. It's like every 2 to 3 months. It's almost like on clockwork. It's like 16 weeks go by, change. 16 weeks go by, change. 16 weeks go by, change. But the thing is, you never know what the change is going to be. They know what the change is going to be, but they never tell you. They seem to be in that type of pattern. You might realize, when you realize this is going on, I feel like you might make the choice of like, all right, what do I need to do to get more control in my life? Because maybe where I am right now is not where I want to be. That might be where this leads to. Because I feel like the more you pull back, the more you kind of roll with it in the moment. I don't see you liking that, but I feel like your stress level goes down. But the thing is, one of the reasons your stress level goes down is because if they keep changing it, you don't get invested in the outcome. If you're not invested in the outcome, you don't really even care anymore. So it's kind of like, I don't feel like I fit here. I can't really create the quality I want because they keep changing things. I can't really establish what I want to establish, which is going to make it feel like you're not really there. I feel like I'm just going to have, I feel hollow. I feel very hollow, like I don't want to even be here. I don't fit anymore. I feel like the quality that I'm capable of can't happen because things just keep changing. Every time I start making progress, they change that, get rid of that, or they change my job. They might even keep changing what you are doing. It keeps changing. I'm getting, ultimately, it might be time to leave this situation. When it gets to the point where it's just a constant change, and you can't stabilize anything, the morning comes in, the moving on from the problem here with the Six of Swords, finding something different. That may be where this is leading. It reminds me of a job I once had. That it was very stressful. I had processes. They kept screwing things up. I think they wanted me to leave, quite frankly, for whatever reason. And then I was like, once I decided I was going to leave, I feel like the last 3 months I had of that job, it was the easiest I had, but I didn't really care. I did correctly what I did do. I have a thing with quality. I'm still going to make the quality effort for what I'm going to be a part of. So I feel like you're going to probably do that. The quality is going to be there. It's just like if they don't like it, too bad. If the people I'm working for are happy or not happy with what I've done, I don't care either way. I'm just here until I find something else, and once I do, I'm going. That might be how you feel at this point, because I feel like this is where this one is going. I'm just kind of shocked that that's where it is. But that's how it feels in the sense of like, if they're going to constantly do these changes, they're never going to let me get used to something, and they're just going to keep this constant state of flux. That may work for some people, and some people may love that, but that's not your thing. And I feel like once I realize that this is how this goes from here on out, I feel like this is very uncomfortable for you, and it's kind of like, it's just too much stress. It's going to like bring me down in a different way, and I have to make a decision to find my happiness somewhere else. Are we good? All right. That's what I have. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.